What's up, guys? Welcome back. Will and Vecna. So it's that scene where Vecna beckons him, brings him forward, and then weirdly touches his face with his tree hand. So, yeah, let's draw this landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause. If I go too fast, is Vecna Groot, like in an alternate dimension? That's the question. That is the question. Let's try Vecna first. He's kind of the hardest. He's looking this way. Start with his eye. Curve. All this prosthetic stuff. And then bottom eyelid kind of goes that way. Then down. It's kind of like a V. And then we get the grayed out sort of like dots. It's kind of all you need to do. So he does have an iris, but it's kind of like foggy, you know. Then we get like some wrinkles and stuff around. No, I'll add textures, right? But we'll do it maybe all at once because he's heavily textured. Just do his top eyelid this way, and then there's kind of like a frown sort of thing going on here. Goes around. So everything kind of broken and dotty and veiny and all that kind of thing. So there's kind of like wrinkles on everything. So that's like his brow area. So then his nose, right? So like it bumps down. And he's got that sort of skeleton nose here. So it's kind of flat. And again, there's all bumps and stuff all here. I think like a nostril that way. So we'll go down, we'll get the lips and stuff. So there's all bumps and stuff all down this way. His top lip is like really long. Like the top part up to the nose for some reason. And then, so I think like his mouth is here. So it's like an M shape. And then it's like the back of his mouth comes back like that. And then his bottom lip will be sort of here. And then we get like his top lip. So we're going down that way. A real weird sort of Voldemort type character. And his chin, we just get the main shape in first. His chin comes back, and then down his neck, which becomes like a series, like a network of pipes and all sorts of stuff. So I think like his chin and his jaw kind of goes back this way. So again, there's loads of stuff in here, but we'll go up and get the shape for his head. So it kind of goes another sort of frown on the other side here, and then his head goes back. It kind of bumps out a bit. Kind of like a narwhal or something. Goes kind of flat on top because of all these tentacles and stuff that drive it back as well. So it like comes down, joins his neck back here. So it's that sort of shape. So there's all pipes in here and stuff. Okay, so that's the shape of his head pretty much, right? So we got his ear, right? We get his ear sort of in here. It looks like, at least. So then maybe his jaw should be like that way. a bit. And then we get some ear lines inside. And then we have to start building up all this texture. So, say like veins coming across his head. There's a big one here. And then more like going this way. So he's like he's been taken over, you know, by the upside down. Okay, so this kind of branching sort of stuff. So all onto his face, loads of it. All in here as well, all different sort of sections and even these pipes have texture on them. You know, these sort of roots. And like all overlapping stuff and everything. And you just build it up, right? So you just keep filling in all these spaces with all these little sections that's you know, just fill it all in. Basically, you just keep going. Like dots and circles and all this kind of stuff. This one like goes behind his ear a bit. There is a big one that comes back onto his jaw, like here. And then it appears to go down his face here. You just keep building it up. Do 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 do. Okay, so there's like loads of pipes on his neck as well. So these like come down onto and join like his body somehow. So they're all these just pipes, right? Some of them have gaps in them where the light is coming through from the other side. As well. Okay, so then that like joins his body there, I think. Yeah, and his head is like barely been held on here. Like some stuff all here. And kind of like the front is similar. Just do some textures like some pipes and things. We'll put some like wrinkles on these. Okay, so like, let's see. You just gotta fill all this. So, like I say, I think like the center of his chest is like here somewhere. And then the other side is like there. Okay. So then we gotta put detail here. We get his sort of his shoulder sort of going this way, and there's all spikes on top of the shoulder here, so we can just add maybe some of them. It just goes back into his body then. Right, and then there's like spikes that come up here as well. Kind of like join his chest or something here. They just flow all the way down. It all goes this way, so it's like growing over his body. And all these pipes kind of just keep going this direction. Okay, I think some more in here. Okay, keep going. It's tricky, this. So adding the main structures of all of these sort of pipey things. Then you gotta put some like veins in between, and we're just building it up as best we can. And there's like a gap in here, so I think that's a gap actually in his neck, and maybe there as well. But this is not. So this is, it's got a little gap there. And then that's a pipe. or a root or a branch or a tree or something. Right, and then say, so shoulder, so there's all like spikes coming up this way as well. And like wrinkly branches and veins and stuff. And then his arm sort of folds this way. He's got all pipes and stuff. So he's going up to Will's face up here, right? So this is like his bony or tree-like sort of arm, right? And this has gaps in it. This is like the start of his thumb. So there's like lots of light gaps in between these bones in his wrist. I keep saying bones when they're not bones. Okay. So we're just sort of aiming generally where we think Will's face is going to be. And then we're going to put like some textures and right. So Will's face is here. He's like looking sort of down at him. Will's like head is tilted back. So the hand goes here. So Will's face will be in there. So like we'll go up for the Vecna's thumb. So well, loosely, I might do like Will's face first and then finish Vecna's hand. We can get his thumb in. So he's got like a long thumbnail. Okay, just roughly so I get things in the right place here. So in the picture, Will's chin is across from Vecna's thumb. So like here, so his face is in there. And his nose with this, so let's just go for it. So we'll do his nose. Just checking that his nose is kind of in line with Vecna's eye. So we'll do his nose coming out here. Kind of curves around. Got a curvy nose, round top to it. Down there, right? So that's Will's nose. So his nostril, sort of in here, we can shadow it up. And then the skin of it at the back. So in the top curves around for his brow. And we get like his eyebrow up here and he's looking sort of nervous, right? So we'll say like a worried eyebrow, sort of curving up and down. Okay. So Will's eye, tricky eye. So let's see. So he's like very low down because he's like his head is tilted back, so his eye is like going that way. So let's go for eyelash sort of here. Lots of these eyelashes there. And then it goes back this way. So again, like a V, kind of like Vecna's. And we get like his eyelid line. That way. And then his corner part of his eye just here at the front. He's looking over that way. Okay, so then like his sort of cheek comes pretty close to his nostril, kind of across here, sort of down that way. Excuse me. So his mouth is open, so we'll go just down for the mouth. Curved top lip. Out. Back for the bottom lip. I got a cough now. Okay. So probably the easiest way to do this mouth is just do sort of an open mouth, sort of line back this way. It kind of goes to his lip there. And we'll do like a shadow in here, I think. Yeah, that's kind of how his mouth is, I think. He's like, oh no. Then maybe like a bit of his top lip just going up that way. Bottom lip going around there. You don't want to draw in everything because I think that's probably good though. Just maybe do some sort of nose lines and things. So his chin sort of curves out, back in. We get like his neckline and down, and then his Adam's apple sort of sticks out here. In his jaw. So say if his earlobe is like right across from his mouth, sort of like there. If that's his ear, everything's kind of red, so it's not. See if that's his earlobe. Am I right about that? Yeah. And then so you could get like jaw. It's not jaw that way, and then just up there. And then there's like an extra sort of shadow underneath here. And like his neck going down that way. So the ear then curving around like that. And then we have some ear lines inside. There. Now it's kind of raining, right? So there's all like rain and drips on his face kind of thing. And he's like kind of beat up as well. Bit of blood on him, scratches and stuff. Vecna has been destroying the place. Right, so hair, very wet, sort of hanging down. Into his face here. So, and I think this is actually like his forehead maybe, or hair, I'm not quite sure. And his hair sort of at the back of his ear here. Do, do, do. Righty, so we gotta go now. The back of his neck, so his hair kind of just hangs down here. This hair texture then. Some hair, maybe some drips maybe coming off. Okay, kind of like that. That's not bad. And then collar comes around there. I think he might have another neck muscle just like in there. And then his shirt, his hands are straight down, so he's like, you know, tensed up and stuff. Just the top of his shirt, and then his like chest just goes down that way. And then the back of his t-shirt is like here. Okay. And then we got shoulder line. Then like some stitching kind of there. There's all fold lines and stuff on this. So Vecna's hand now, so we can get in as much as we can. It kind of moves towards him. So if you fit more or less fingers in, it's, you know, it's okay. You go up to about there, and then we'll get like his index finger in. Sharp sort of nails on top. But they're very bony and thin, sort of weird looking. You know, there's like all holes in his hand and stuff. I think this last one then should go behind his face. And of course, if yours sticks out a bit more, that's okay. You could just finish it like we finished those ones. They're kind of puppet like looking as well, so they're kind of like weird anyway, so you don't have to like do them like perfectly like fingers. It might actually be better if they did look a bit odd. And of course, like as much texture as you would like to do on Vecna, that is totally cool. You can do texture till the cows come home, as they say. Like little dots, sort of, because there's like a sprinkler or rain or like something like so. You know, adding little darker lines and stuff to Vecna sometimes make it's like you're adding a thick line to the bottom of things and it makes it look more shadowy or something, you know. But that's if you want to keep it a line drawn. Of course, you don't have to do that. You could just shade it, you know. But anyway, I could keep going for hours and hours and hours, especially on Vecna. You could just keep going. But I'll leave it like that. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.